I went to CHOP at first. When I first went there, it's called CHAZ, Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, and mainly because my friend Marcus basically started a community garden in Cal Anderson Field. Like they were like, we're reclaiming this land. We're going to start a community garden and grow food for the people here. And so when I heard about that, I was already working with plant-based food share, and so I'm like, hey, we've got soil, we've got some extra plants, that people didn't pick up. Can I come bring you some stuff? And so yeah, I'm like community farming, like community, like coming together, feeding each other, like helping, support each other. I'm all about that. As far as going to Chaz to like try to fight against anything or protest anything, I didn't go there for that. And so I wasn't really like on the front lines of the protests or the conflicts. Because yeah, I mean, if you want healthy food and like, someone to support you, like I'll be there, in a, like anytime, any day. If you want me to come fight against somebody, like I maybe will come listen to you, and then I'll maybe go talk to that person and be like, hey, can we like work together? Can we bridge this gap? Because I mean, that's really what I'm all about.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's my
interesting
take on Chap.
It blows my mind away how it's not necessarily that you were hearing different sides of the story, but people were interpreting it in completely different ways.
Chop?
Yeah.
See, and
just like a lot of the other things that happened in 2020.
Where?
I feel like 2020 was like that year.
Yeah.
Where like there was just like a split world, that sort of dimension where every major subject had like a split realities.
Yeah, multiple sides. And then as far as Chop goes, on like it being different things, it's like my breakdown of Chop, or my understanding of Chop, is it was a really cool idea, but you're trying to create this society where if everyone's coming at it from a point of like having stability, and like we all have resources to support ourselves, and then we're going to come together and and create a community, that's one thing. But like it was in the middle of protests, there's a huge homeless population in Seattle, a lot of whom are have mental challenges, or basically are mentally unstable,
disabilities.
And so if you have multiple people who are mentally unstable, and then you've got protests, and you've got people coming in to pretend like it's a fair, and like take photos, like play tourist, and I'm at CHOP, I'm in the protest, like kids from the suburbs just coming to hang out, like it's
I saw that too.
So it's like it really from the beginning, plus you literally have the entire world focused on it. Like there's no way CHOP could have survived. Like
like Seattle was the butt of the joke.
Yeah,
that whole 3 weeks.
I had multiple friends, reach out to me and be like, "Yo, if that had happened in Atlanta, that had happened in DC, that had happened in my city, the cops would have squashed that immediately. Like, even if people would have died, like
that wouldn't have happened in majority of cities."
And so we have but I mean the protests here were bigger than most cities. It's like we have a very liberal population, and people who are like. I mean, if you even going back to like 20 years, like we had those huge like WTO protests when I was in elementary school, and that like made global news essentially. So yeah, it's like we have a history of protesting in Seattle, and like people are
quite very very active.
Yeah,
active
and
on the
like
activist life.
The Seattle PD like has a history of brutality and problems with citizens, but like I feel like as far as the nation goes, like we have a lot of tolerance, and like a lot of things that a lot of unique situations in Seattle that just wouldn't fly in most other cities.
Yeah, I agree. I went there one time. I was hearing about it for a week and a half, 2 weeks, until I decided to finally go up there. I mean, I literally didn't go most of the times because I was well aware that there was a slight chance I'm walking into some sort of heat on the streets, because it was just everywhere.
Yeah.
And like what I had just experienced in the few weeks before, telling about all the different random attacks, I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna up the odds of me experiencing this stuff. But I was very curious because I kept seeing footage, keep videos, people kept doing segments on it. So I was like, you know what? 15-minute walk. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah,
I was with a friend. Her and I decided to walk up there, and basically what I did, it lasted about 45 minutes or so. Walked around the entire sort of circumference of the area, and then walked through it. And then enough things had happened where I was like, we need to get the fuck out of here. And basically, what you said earlier in regards of people showing up like it's a folk life event for, you know, where bands are playing, people are just sort of hanging out on the grass and whatnot. It had that vibe of like sort of this rundown music show where it was just sort of like not really anything specifically going on, just sort of people everywhere, just coming from every direction. There's a couple different things set up, like tents and like a small stage that I saw. And I guess there was some live music happening there from time to time. But across the board, I saw a huge amount of polluting. The tagging was just absolutely all over the place.
Graffiti.
The graffiti was just absolutely everywhere. And Capitol Hill was already bad. That's a statement to be able to make that place look worse than where it already was. Capitol Hill has been that place that's been tagged out in many areas, especially that area. And so to make that place look like it got shown up, you really had to do some damage. And so I was walking through, and I was just like, I was in awe. The police station right there, absolutely obliterated, destroyed. And so I was like, wow, this is crazy. Towards the end, we're walking through some of this, like sort of like the BLM tents where people are like selling shirts and stuff. Not even a minute in that area, a dude makes a sexual remark to the girl that I'm with. Your typical sort of like club, try to like approach. And I was just like, man, you know, I'm out of here. Like, this energy is not for me. It seemed to me like I'm not going to go out of my way to try to stereotype the people that were there. But it seemed that across the board, it was the type of people I wouldn't go out of my way to spend time with to begin with, because of the nature of how it was just. A bunch of people were reporting their stuff getting stolen.
Yeah, I heard that a lot too.
You know, so it's a typical scenario where what's funny is this. I'm in the music industry. Okay. I play shows. I've been playing shows for several years. I've been to many events where it was this sort of location that everybody just sort of took a shit on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
zero respect.
Festival, yeah.
Zero respect for the land. Trash is right here. They throw it on the ground, tagging on the walls. Some person is having an argument with somebody they don't even know, but they're both fucked up. It's sort of like that environment. And I hadn't been to a show in like over a year because of 2020. And I walked up and I looked at the girls with, and I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I was like, if this is a taste of the free world, I don't want a part of this.
Yeah.
I mean, enjoy a little bit of order in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even the guy who's out there saying law and order to everybody. Like, law and order, you know, like that's what holds, you know, the fabric of society together. Some people are really about that. And so I just can't understand. Like, there's got to be some order, because this is. All right, thanks for watching this clip from Appropriate Culture. If you want to watch the full episode, go ahead and check out us at appropriateculture.com. You can also check us out on social media platforms at Appropriate Culture. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.